that Smackdown logo. And the real thing is even better. They are hot to trot. So what is harder to do, get into Harvard or get a job at McDonald's? Well, if you pick the job at McDonald's, you're actually right. The fast food chain just hiring 62,000 new employees out of more than 1 million applicants. That is a success rate that is actually lower than for applicants to top universities. And Mike Norman says this is a perfect example of why the government should not cut spending. But Charlie Gasparino, guess what? He sees it a different way. It's time for Street Smackdown. Mike, first to you.
You're saying that's not? That's a great land of opportunity when, you know, so many people, the only job they could find is McDonald's and 2.5%.
But this is an excuse for more government spending?
Well, look, let's just look at the facts, okay? I know sometimes you don't like to do that here, but look, the government spending in the first quarter dropped significantly, and we saw the GDP plunge. Now, if your prescription for that, as I think Charlie's is to do more of that, that somehow that's going to help the economy and that's going to create unemployment, go ahead and try. It's kind of like saying if you're sick, why don't you drain all the blood out of your body and then you're going to feel a lot better. It just doesn't work that way.
Remember that plunge that Mike is talking about was what, from 2.5 to...
It was 3.1 to 1.8.
I mean, it is we barely were registering GDP despite the Normanian economic solution. I will say this.
It's better than know nothing.
The Normanian economic solution is to spend a lot of this, right? A lot of this. Where's my camera? Here we go.
A lot of cash. Go ahead.
A lot of cash.
You're holding it upside down.
And then suggest, guess what? That when you print more of this, it doesn't matter. Its value stays the same. I will say this.
Well,
let me make my point.
Let
me make my point. No, your view of economics violates not just every single single mainstream economic theory.
Well,
it violates common sense that when you print more of something or make more of something, that the value goes up.
No.
Think about how absurd.
First of all, we're not.
But that is the central tenet of Normanian economics.
Have you heard of John Maynard Keynes? Have you heard of
I've heard of
Krugman?
him, and he's working great. Oh, those guys are doing wonderful.
Well, listen, for 70 years, this country did not experience a depression. We did not have major recessions after we pulled out.
We never had a recession in the 70s.
Major recessions. We did not.
We didn't have a big. My father was out of work for a long time in the 1970s.
These horrific financial crashes as we've had
in the 70s?
Right now. Stagflation in the 70s.
There was never a recession in the 50s. I don't need the Normanian.
The news. We had two oil embargoes during the 70s.
Hold on. When you begin talking at the same time, we can't hear anything. Let me ask you a question again, Norman. We had the president say, if you spend all this money on my stimulus plan, about $1 trillion, close to $1 trillion, we will have unemployment levels that will never go above 8%. We've had unemployment levels up to 10%, and they're still stuck around 9%. Why was the president wrong? We spent all that money, and we didn't have unemployment come down.
Okay, let's go through it. We spent a stimulus which was 5% of GDP. The Chinese did 15%. But we went from a negative 6% contraction in the economy to a 3%. That's almost a 10% swing on the upside. We were losing 800,000 jobs a month. Now we're creating jobs. So, yeah, it didn't go below 8%.
Just think about this.
But there's a lot of things that happen.
But just think about this. We barely cut spending. Okay, don't let him fool you thinking that we just slash spending after spending all that money on the stimulus package. The stimulus package, the Keynesian way of growing the economy, guess what it helps? And the Normanian economic way of growing the economy. Guess who it helps? It helps really rich people because they can profit off a 0% interest rate. It helps really rich people. And maybe some really poor people who can hold on to all their benefits. The people in the middle get squeezed. That's why the president's poll numbers are down. That's why average people know that the Normanian school of economics doesn't work. The Normanian school has one member, Mike Norman.
Well, we started with Mr. Norman. We end with Mr. Gasparino. That's got to be the end of the Smackdown. We'll do a reverse next time, guys. Thank you very much.